Yes, Czech Pilsner, part 2 of 2. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. If you didn't see part 1 where we did the brew, I'll put it up there for you. But looks amazing. Got some little bubbles stuck to the edge. And I'm pretty sure you can kind of see it's translucent. It's almost clear, other than the bubbles for some reason like to stick in this glass. But yeah, I use Clarity Firm, I use some gelatin, and it's still got just an ever so subtle haze. But I may have to do, I know Brewlosophy said that Carapils doesn't really help that much. Well, it's looking pretty good here. So I may have to compare it again and do it for myself. You know, it's the whole Missouri thing. Got to see it for myself. It was 7 pounds, 6 ounces of Pilsner, a pound of Vienna malt, half a pound of Carapils, and 6 ounces of acid malt. And just looks beautiful. Smells really nice. Our original gravity, we hit almost 80% brewhouse efficiency, and we were at 1.054 for original gravity. According to Beersmith, I was supposed to hit 1.005 for final gravity, and usually it's estimating high, but that was really low. Let's just say I left for a day. I had to travel, and I apologize on a little delay on the videos. I've been ill with some allergy problems, really bad allergy problems, and working on top of that. But if we hit 1.005, we would have been at 6.4%, which is a little high for Czech Pilsner, but it'll work. The pressure fermentation, for some reason, went like over 15 psi or right at 15 psi, because the little release valve is supposed to let some out at 15. And I found out later that my spunning valve was off a little bit, although that wasn't its fault for letting the PSI go so high. I thought I had it set and I didn't. So it stopped fermenting, which I'm not sure if that's just because the yeast said I'm done, or if the yeast was stressed out because of that amount of pressure. So I'll have to do an experiment, try one maybe with no pressure and one with pressure, or maybe somewhere in between, and see if the fermentation will stop early due to too much pressure. Makes sense to me. I mean, you put me under pressure and I'm going to stress out. So, you know, we'll see. We used Imperial yeast, A43 Loki yeast. The Loki yeast, I'd never used it before, and at cooler temps is supposed to ferment very clean. Its range is 65 Fahrenheit all the way to 100 Fahrenheit. We know sometimes you can go lower, sometimes you can go higher. According to Imperial yeast, if you ferment on the low end, you'll get a pseudo lager. Pseudo lager. And look, I got lacing and that head is still there. It's just not as big. Yeah, that can be taken out of context, I know. But hey, it is what it is. It had a big head, now it's got a small head. But needless to say, the pseudo lager is great at low temps. I did it at 68, 67 Fahrenheit and went up to 72 Fahrenheit and then brought it back down. So it should be really clean. I have had a few samples before it was fully carbonated, and I'm going to tell you, there's an issue, but it's minor. And if you want huge, and I mean huge fruit esters, you push it up around the 85 Fahrenheit to 100 Fahrenheit. Supposedly you'll get tropical and some citrus, lots of citrus, more than anything from my understanding. So, and I've been smelling a hint of what smells to me like a hint of grapefruit rind. I am getting a little bit of like floral, maybe herbal, but probably floral. And I definitely tasted a hint of spice when I was doing it before it was fully carbonated, because we used what? I think it was like 5 ounces of Saz hops, 6 ounces of Saz hops. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 ounces of Saz hops. And we were very low on the IBUs, but you know, Saz is not real strong. And we were doing a lot of that. I mean, what was it? Had 2 ounces at 60 minutes, an ounce at 30, and then an ounce at 5. And then I threw in another 2 ounces at 0, basically at flame out. And I don't even see, I know it's probably jumping. Oh, okay, 36 IBUs, a little higher than I thought it was, but still within range for a nice Czech Pilsner. Yeah, I smell a little cross between floral and maybe grapefruit. It's subtle. It's not in your face. I do get a little bit of spice from the Saz hops. Yeah, it's like grapefruit rind, just a little bit, and not really white grapefruit, but kind of a cross between a white and a pink grapefruit. Kind of like if you had a sample of grapefruit sculpin from Ballast Point, but not a full glass, you might go, did I taste grapefruit? That kind of tastes pleasant. It's very nice. I do wish it was cleaner, because if it was cleaner, I could use it for flavor testings, which is one of my goals with this beer. Initially, when this beer was only just about halfway to the carbonation where it needed to be, I was not impressed. I'm like, okay, this does not taste right. Something's not right here. And I gave it a couple weeks between that, you know, extra week basically after that taste. And I kept it at 12 PSI and left it in the keg. And I got to tell you right now, from the few sips I've had so far, yeah, I'm going to be giving some of this out locally, and I'll probably have quite a few pints myself. This is a very, very smooth beer, and I love grapefruit, so that little subtle hint of grapefruit rind to me is amazing. Maybe a little wedge grapefruit on here would be even better, but hey. Yeah, I get a little bit of the floral on the nose, and that's probably from the hops, but I get the spice. I got a little acidic, you know, that crisp that you expect from a Pilsner. Definitely it's got a nice crispness, which I'm looking forward to on every sip. But the grapefruit is kind of like, I got a perfect example. I take a sip, I get a little bit of floral on the nose, I get a little spice, I taste what kind of tastes like grapefruit, maybe on the outside, the zest, and then I get a little bit, almost like a little bit of the rind is sitting on the back of my tongue. It's a dry finish with a subtle rind. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, I like grapefruit. You know, I like grapefruit a lot. And yes, I'm allergic to oranges, so I love grapefruit because it doesn't bother me. So yeah, cheers. I mean, success, great brew, very happy, very, very, very pleased. I know a lot of people who get to taste test it will probably be very pleased because they weren't looking for a clean beer. They're just going to be looking for a free beer and going, wow, that's good. I like that. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. Definitely appreciate the sharing. Cheers. I'm going to top this off and go enjoy some more.